How is it going, everyone? Today we're with my WWE WrestleMania 36 Part 1 pay-per-view review. Of course, this show took place on the WWE Network as well as pay-per-view tonight, with, of course, Part 2 following suit tomorrow. And without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and jump right into the show and dive right into things. Of course, with the kickoff show, which happened 1 hour prior to the main show itself, which featured Cesaro taking on Gulak. Of course, they added the kickoff show match this morning, and the match only went a few minutes. I want to say it only went about 4 to 5 minutes, so it wasn't very long at all, but it was a sprint. Both men went out there and kind of went balls to the walls. A lot of chain wrestling, a lot of mat base maneuvers. Cesaro took off Gulak's head with the uppercut at one point, but finish came. Gulak was trying to lock in the Gulak, but Cesaro countered it into the UFO. Hits the UFO onto Drew Gulak, gets the win, 1, 2, 3, and wins the match. So, yeah, for what it was very enjoyable. It was very unfortunate that it was only a few minutes. But you know what? Cesaro and Drew Gulak had a WrestleMania match. Whether it was on the kickoff show, obviously given the circumstances of what's going on, they had to, obviously change the original plans for WrestleMania. Those two had their singles match for WrestleMania, so that's pretty cool for them to say. So, Cesaro, Gulak, nice sprint at the kickoff show. Then, of course, we dive into the main show, which opened up with a Stephanie McMahon promo. She pretty much just covered the basis of things going on in the world today, and, we're just trying to provide you guys with entertainment to get your mind off of things. So, typical promo you would expect, which led into a very nice video package for a different, kind of a montage of all the different versions of America the Beautiful we've gotten WrestleMania over the years with all the different type of artists and whatnot. So, that was a very nice touch. I thought it was a great way to still incorporate America the Beautiful into WrestleMania. So that was very, very, very well done. And then we go into the opening match, which was for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The Kabuki Warriors defending against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. This was a good match. I just felt like it went on way too long. It was one of the longer matches on the entire show, so I don't know why this match got so much time, which I don't mind matches getting time, but I just feel like this match would have benefited by shaving off about 5 minutes or so, because I feel like they got to the point where they just kept repeating the same steps. Like, it'd be Kabuki Warriors, working over Alexa Bliss, and, Bliss gives the hot tag to Nikki Cross. She has a little fire streak, then, of course, they work over her, and then eventually Nikki Cross gets a hot tag to Alexa Bliss. She runs, ramping for a little bit, then Kabuki Warriors back to working over Bliss, then Bliss again with the hot tag Nikki Cross. I just felt like they were repeating the steps and just got kind of, repetitive and boring to me, and it wasn't very entertaining. But, Kabuki Warriors did a fantastic job, just being their characters, talking shit, and just, isolating, Bliss from Cross or Cross from Bliss, whichever, person they're working on at the time. But Nikki Cross, yeah, had a pretty good comeback at one point. She was just on fire, getting some nice near falls. But I will say there was a horribly edited botch where Kairi Sane is supposed to break up a pin with the insane elbow, but the referee clearly was going to count to 3. So you can definitely tell that Kairi was laying on the elbow, but you would think in editing they could at least edit it where it looked kind of smooth, but no, you can tell it was still terribly timed. So that was kind of a fuck up, but the ending, the last few minutes of the match was actually pretty fun. Everyone's kind of going balls as walls. Nice exchange, where Asuka was pinning Nikki Cross, but then Alexa Bliss broke it up with the Twisted Bliss, and as Bliss got up, Kairi Sane nailed it with the spear. So they got pretty fun towards the end. But Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross end up pulling off the victory. Bliss hits Twisted Bliss, 1, 2, 3, wins the WWE Women's Tag Team titles with Nikki Cross for a second time. I don't know why they put the tag team titles back on Cross and Bliss. The Kabuki Warriors beat Cross and Bliss for the tag team titles initially, so I just don't know why they're reverting back to them. I guess it's just something for them to do. I don't know. I wasn't for a decision of them winning the tag team titles back, but it was what it was. It was a good match, but for the time it got, it should have been better. Like I said, I think it would have been a better overall match. They shaved some time off of it, but very fun ending sequence nonetheless, I thought. From there, I'm going to go to Elias taking on King Corbin. King Corbin comes out, tries to win the match via forfeit. Elias comes out, hits him with a guitar. They brawl for a bit. The match starts. Elias works over Corbin. Corbin gets the upper hand, works over Elias, throws him to the post. He's just working over Elias and working and working. And Elias has some moments of desperation. You get some moments of hope. It's a huge jumping knee at one point. So he had his little comeback against Corbin, but Corbin just closes down on Elias once again. Looks like he's closing on the win. Tries to pull in. He has his foot on the rope for a roll up, but the referee sees it. Refuses to count to 3. Elias rolls up Corbin. 1, 2, 3. Elias gets a victory. Nothing in match. Very, very boring. It should have been a squash, honestly. It shouldn't have went as long as it did. It shouldn't have been no more than a few minutes, honestly. And another loss for Corbin. You know, obviously they did the kind of like revenge, sneaky face win where Elias, you know, holds the tights on his pin on Corbin to kind of get his revenge on him. But I don't know. I feel like this could have been a good win for Corbin, or at least give him a win, because it feels like, you know, Corbin never wins anymore. So I don't know. It's hard to take someone seriously when he constantly loses. But Corbin, Elias, nothing special by any means. And then we go to the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch, of course, showing up in her big semi-truck. She keeps showing up in now all of a sudden. Defending against Shayna Baszler. And these two went out there and had a pretty good overall match. You know, definitely Shayna Baszler's best performance on the main roster so far. Best match, I should say, because, you know, obviously she was very dominant in the Elimination Chamber. But her and Becky went out there and just had pretty much a fight. They're beating the hell out of each other. You know, at one point, Becky Lynch gave her a rock bottom onto the apron, which was pretty awesome. But they were just tearing each other's shreds, working each other's limbs, you know, obviously countering people's, you know, countering each other, you know. Baszler put Becky into the, you know, her own armbar to kind of mimic the disarmer, and kind of even attempted to put Becky in the disarmer at one point as well. Match went to the outside. Baszler recreated, you know, throwing Becky into the announce table, trying to pretty much kill her. Put her into the clutch, try to choke her out, but Becky rolled through. Flash pin, 1, 2, 3. Becky remains the Raw Women's Champion. Pretty good match, like I said, overall. The match is kind of short. It was only about, I want to say, 7 or 8 minutes. It wasn't very long, so I was very surprised with the amount of time they got. But it was, you know, just them going at it. They're really laying their shit in. It was a brawl, and it is exactly what it should have been, in my opinion. And if Becky was going to beat Shayna, even though that finish has been done multiple times, you know, it's been done probably thousands of times. You know, the choke into a flash pin. That's happened so many times, but if there's a way for Becky to beat Shayna, that definitely should have been the way to do it. So I'm not going to complain about it, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Thought it was a fun match. And then we go to the Intercontinental Championship match. Of course, Sami Zayn defending against Bryan. Early on, there were a lot of, you know, just messing around. You know, Sami Zayn was running away from Bryan, refusing to get in the ring. Nakamura and Cesaro was preventing Bryan from getting Zayn. And then at one point, you know, Gulak finally fends off, you know, Cesaro and Nakamura. Bryan gets his hands on Zayn, and Bryan beats the holy fuck out of Zayn. The slaps, the kicks, everything. You were feeling every hit Bryan was giving in on Zayn, especially when he was stomping his head in. Bryan looked like he was fucking gonna kill him. This match was awesome for a storyline sense, because it was just Bryan beating the fuck out of him. And then, you know, Zayn getting a flashy win at the end. Not a flashy, but just an upset win at the end. Obviously, you know, Bryan was closing in the victory. Nakamura and Cesaro get back involved. Bryan does a dive to take him out. Bryan goes back to the top to do a headbutt. But as Bryan jumps off the top rope, Zayn's back up. Or no, he goes for the missile dropkick. That's what he's going for, the missile dropkick. But as he went for it, Zayn hits him with a hoover kick and pins Bryan 1, 2, 3. So Sami Zayn successfully defends over Bryan. Wasn't much of a match because, you know, the match is short, first off. It was only, like I said, kind of the same as Becky and Shayna, where it was only like 7 or 8 minutes. But, like, kind of the first half of the match was just Zayn running around avoiding Bryan. So they only got a few minutes, but the few minutes they got were spectacular. I thought it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, definitely enjoyed that match. And then we go to the wrestling match of the night, if you ask me. The triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Now, originally this match was supposed to be John Morrison and The Miz defending against the New Day and the Usos, but of course The Miz was sick or whatever. They didn't really explain it. They said that he was injured on SmackDown, but obviously that wasn't the case. But this was made into a singles triple threat ladder match. So it was John Morrison representing, you know, him and Miz, obviously, taking on Jimmy Uso representing the Usos, and Kofi Kingston representing the New Day. And these three went out there and killed themselves in front of no one, and it was fucking awesome. This match was great. Everyone came out like a star, especially John Morrison. He had an MVP performance, probably his best performance ever in WWE. He just looked like $1 million in this match. You know, all men were messing around with ladders from the get-go, doing some spots off it. They weren't really doing much. They were kind of doing some spots, soft spots, but Kofi did a Hurricanrana off the ladder, which came off greatly. John Morrison did a Spanish fly off the ladder, which awesome spot where he had Jimmy Uso laid on the ladder and he did a Starship Pain onto it. That was a great spot right there. And then just people are just dying. They were killing each other with these ladders, and it was in front of no one. These three went out there and stole the show, and it was it was great. It was awesome. Just a lot of innovative stuff, and there were a lot of vicious bumps. You know, they weren't taking it lightly. They were treating this as if 70,000 plus people were in that place. And yeah, kudos to all three men for just going out there and tearing the house down and working their asses off, because that was a hell of a ladder match between all three of them. At the end, Morrison kind of looks kind of stupid because he set up a ladder when, you know, Jimmy Uso got pretty much killed because Morrison tipped him off the ladder and he flew into the outside. Kofi was killed at some point. Morrison had plenty of time to win the match like that, but he just stood in the ring and just walked around circles for God knows what reasons. Eventually, Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston get back involved. They're all on a ladder, kind of having a battle for the championship. And then it happens where the thing that's holding the championship, they all take it down. Kofi has one side, Jimmy has one side, and Morrison has the titles. And they headbutt Morrison. Morrison falls, but he pulls the titles down with them as he falls. So Morrison is declared the winner and still the tag team champions with The Miz. Like I said, for the wrestling portion of the show, because obviously the main event wasn't really a wrestling match, this definitely was match of the night. A lot of fun. Like I said, all three men went out there and killed each other, had some insane spots, and Morrison looked like $1 million. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Then we go to Kevin Owens taking on Seth Rollins. These two went out there and had a really fun match, I thought. You know, they were kind of going through the steps at first, but they were getting their stuff in. You know, they were doing some spots where they were kind of turning each other out. You know, I thought Rollins played a great role in this match where he was kind of talking down to Owens, trying to tell him, like, you did this, you know, this doesn't need to be done, to the point where Rollins says, fuck it, you know, I don't need to put you down. It's not worth it. You know, towards the end of the match, they're having beautiful exchanges. You know, Rollins setting up for the curb stomp, but Owens counters into a DDT. They fight back and forth for a bit. Rollins hits a buckle bomb, hits a super kick, goes for the curb stomp, but Owens counters it into a pop-up power bomb for a great near fall. Rollins rolls out, hits Owens with the time belt to cause a disqualification, because Seth Rollins decides that he's done with Kevin Owens. He doesn't want to punish him anymore. He's done. He's doing him a favor by letting him still, I guess, stand. So Rollins gets DQ'd. He doesn't care. He's over it. Walks away. Owens gets the mic, says, Seth, you're a bitch. Let's do it. No DQ. Let's keep going. Rollins says, all right. And the match restarts as a no DQ match. So no disqualification. Rollins just beats the shit out of Owens with the steel chair for a bit. He's trying to torture him. But then KO has his comeback. KO lays him down onto the announce table and does a dive. Oh, not a dive. I apologize. An elbow drop off the top of the WrestleMania sign. You know, the big WrestleMania sign they always hang up during each show. Does a big elbow dive off of that. Gets Rollins back in the ring. Hits a stunner. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens defeats Seth Rollins. Like I said, very fun match, you know, towards the end, especially once the match became an ODQ match, and they kind of just, you know, especially that big bump Owens took, it was a lot of fun. So, but I will say, the disqualification portion kind of, you know, put a stall to the match a bit, because I feel like before that, the match was really picking up to, like, okay, now we're getting into the business here. And then that kind of happened, and the match kind of stalled for a bit, and then it picked back up again, of course, when the no DQ portion started. So, I don't know why they didn't make it a no DQ from the get-go, but yeah, still a very fun match nonetheless. Backstage segment, or not a backstage segment, you had Mojo and Gronk, who have been hosting the entire show from, like, you know, the view above the ring. R-Truth is there. Mojo Rawley wins back the 24/7 title, which they teased because Gronk tried to win it, but Mojo threw Gronk off of R-Truth and covered Truth. So I bet you Gronk's going to win the title tomorrow against Mojo. So that was a little skit that happened. And then we go to the Universal Championship match. Goldberg defending against Braun Strowman. They stare each other down. Goldberg gets a spear. Another spear. Third spear. 10. Strowman kicks out. Fourth spear. Goes for the jackhammer. Strowman counters it into a power slam. Power slam. Power slam. And then a running power slam. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman is the brand new Universal Champion. I mean, the least I can say is after 3 years of fucking around with pushing Braun Strowman, they finally gained the championship. They should have done it 3 years ago. You know, 2 years ago would have been fine, but man, I don't know. It happened, and I don't think anyone really gave a shit that Strowman won the championship. So, talk about failing to execute you know, his big push when he was hot. Now he's kind of just there, but I don't know. I'm happy the Universal title isn't on Goldberg, and I'm kind of happy Strowman finally got that championship. So hopefully they actually give a title reign to him. I don't want to see him be a transitional champion for the Fiend or Roman Reigns. Have him actually have a title reign and rebuild what you've kind of fucked with him over the last 3 years. So I don't know. Hopefully they do something with them. But yeah, Braun Strowman, new Universal Champion, completely for. And then we go to the main event, which was the Boneyard Match. The Undertaker versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles now has a WrestleMania main event under his belt. I'm pretty sure he has accomplished everything there is to accomplish at this point. So, awesome that AJ Styles has a WrestleMania main event under his belt now. And this, by far, was the best thing on the entire show. This is match of the year. Best wrestling match of all time. The way this was shot was so well done. It was a cinematic match, but it was excellent. Undertaker coming, riding in on his chopper with Metallica blasting, and then him just, being vocal while he was kicking AJ Styles' ass, like where he elbowed the car window, and he's like, man, look, you made me bleed. Like, just little remarks he was saying as he was beating AJ Styles' ass. I thought it was great. AJ looked great as well. He kicked Taker's ass for a good portion of the match as well when he threw dirt in Taker's eyes. So they brawled everywhere. And then, of course, Gallows and Anderson got involved once Taker pretty much had AJ dead. They had Druids that came out and attacked the Undertaker, which I thought was a great touch. When they broke down like the little shed or whatever they were in, they broke the walls down and came and circled Undertaker and attacked him. Thought that was great. Taker took out Gallows and Anderson. Threw Gallows off the top of a building. Tombstone Anderson on top of that one. And then he chokeslammed AJ Styles off of the barn or whatever they were on. Threw like a crate or something. I don't know what the fuck he threw him into, but AJ broke something. Should have killed him if that was legitimate. But it was just awesome. Then Taker was pretty much talking shit to AJ. And then AJ thought he had the win on Taker. Thought Taker buried. Taker used some magic, appeared behind AJ when AJ was, trying to bury the dirt on top of Taker. Taker takes AJ out and tells him to rest in peace. Throws him the thing, buries AJ Styles as AJ has his hand off the grave. Just tremendous stuff overall. Absolutely loved every second of it, of Taker just not giving a fuck, and just it was so funny too when Taker is just holding AJ and AJ's barely standing. He's like, please don't bury me, please don't bury me. It's like, man, it's funny because he's just saying like, hey, don't bury me, and he's literally saying, hey, don't bury me. I thought that was very, very funny. But yes, Undertaker defeats AJ Styles in the Boneyard match. Everything about it, the music was great as well. It gave me a complete Game of Thrones vibe. With the music, during like the big battle episodes or whatnot. I just thought it was a tremendous fit in the Boneyard match as well. So yeah, that was awesome. Words cannot express how much I love the Boneyard match with AJ Styles and Undertaker. I thought it was awesome. It legitimately gave that feeling I had watching wrestling as a kid again, like that all giddily, like, oh, this is fucking awesome feeling that you're really enjoying and loving what you're watching. You're kind of like disbelief, of what you're seeing. That's what I felt, and I don't know, I had a blast watching the Boneyard match with Undertaker and AJ Styles. That was fantastic, and definitely was the right decision to go to WrestleMania. Like I said, fantastic match for the way it was shot. It wasn't really a wrestling match, but for what it was amazing. I loved every second of it. And WrestleMania 36 Part 1, I thought was an awesome show. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was really fun and enjoyable. It was different. The no crowd really didn't affect the show. Now, like, obviously it was weird, but I think the wrestlers, being more vocal during their matches made up for it, because they were playing their story into their wrestling. They weren't just being quiet. They were just like the little things with, with Rollins, talking shit to Owens, or Taker talking shit to AJ. I thought the vocalization, especially in the Sami Zayn and Bryan match, really helped some of these matches. So I thought that was a great touch, and I thought it was a very entertaining WrestleMania. For the circumstances they were under, I thought WWE, hit a home run and produced a great first night of WrestleMania. Night 2 tomorrow's got some tough shoes to film, but we had some fun matches tomorrow as well. With the way the Boneyard match was filmed, I cannot wait to see how the Firefly Funhouse match with Cena and The Fiend airs. That's going to be very exciting. Obviously, Edge and Randy Orton, Last Man Standing. Then, of course, McIntyre and Brock Lesnar, as well as the rest of the card. We have some exciting stuff to look forward to tomorrow night as well. But yeah, Part 1, a lot of fun. Loved WrestleMania. Thought it was a really fun show overall. Very, very excited for Night 2 tomorrow night. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as well as the video. That's what I meant to say. yeah, just very fun overall. If you guys did enjoy the video, please feel free to leave a like below. And of course, my review for part 2 tomorrow, which I will be doing, of course, WrestleMania 36 part 2. I'll be doing a review for that tomorrow night. I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching the show.